Hello and welcome, everyone. We are currently playing our nice little Step 1 series of our life. Today we are on the last memory of the DLC. Not the DLC, sorry. The non-DLC. I am so sorry about that. I am all over the place today, yes. So my apologies for that. Entirely. But today we are finally doing shopping. The last one in the little series, and then it's straight onto the DLCs. Which I am excited to do. So, without any further ado, let's get into it. Come back before it gets dark, alright, sport? The familiar voice drifted across the street and drew your attention away from the snail you'd been watching inch slowly across the pavement. Cove waited in front of his dad, pushing his green hair back off his face, from where the breeze was blowing over his glasses. You should invest in his sun hat then. Then again, it might not suit Cove. Maybe. Oh. Don't do. Oh, yay. My mouth spiel. It's against me. He looked to be paying only a mild amount of attention as he was being handed a few slips of green paper. It reminded of you when you first met Mr. Holden. Although he's probably not paying Cove to be friends with himself. That'd be funny if he was. Cove's dad seemed to feel your gaze somehow. Maybe you made a noise, because a second later, his eyes were on you. He waved you over with a smile. He looked happy to see you, but you still felt a little weird for getting caught. You've got to learn to be more sneaky, especially with falling over that bush the other day. How a sneaky rap is. All over the place. You brushed your hands together to free them from the sand, and then jogged over to join the two, smiling at Cove first, and then his dad. We've got our priorities. Cove. He's the most important one. Adults. Nah, not too important. Callie, hi!
How's it going?
Good to see you again. What excitement are you up to today, Callie? Taking a walk. I found a pretty cool snail across the road. There's a lot of snails around here. Mr. Holden grinned at you kindly. After you finished answering the question, Mr. Holden's attention returned to Cove, who was preoccupied with folding the bills he had into a tiny rectangle. Sounds fun. You know, Cove was about to hit the stores by the beach. Why don't you go with him? You gave a ready nod, trying to squint in the direction of the stores, but you could see the goods they had to offer all the way from where you stood. Oh, is that okay?
Yeah.
I don't mind. Look at that little smile. He's happy. Great, I'm sure you guys will have loads of fun. Mr. Holden reached into his pocket and pulled out a leather wallet filled with money. You found it odd since your mom's only ever seemed to have cards in theirs. Here. He leaned in to pass a crisp 10 to Cove, giving him a wink and a whisper. Get something for your friend, too. Sure.
Good.
That's my boy. It's like Mr. Holden's trying to set us up. It's funny. And you're just like, Dad, stop doing this. Cove's dad ruffled his son's hair as he straightened up back. The bill in his hand still held out towards the green-haired boy. Take care. Cove accepted the bill a second after and slipped it into his pocket, and then with one last nod to his dad, and started walking. He followed after him, intrigued at the possibilities this outing might bring. I wonder if there's any penguins. Go straight towards the gentle tide creeping in the sand, and he fell in place beside him. It was a nice day. The sun was shining and there weren't many clouds in the sky, though the wind coming off the ocean kept it from being too hot. You took in a deep breath, enjoying the scent of salt and ocean air. When you looked at Cove, he was dragging his feet over the sand a little, and you slowed down to wait for him. His eyes searched to the ground intently. Are you looking for shells? Cove startled a little at the sound of your voice and mumbled, sort of. If you see any, you can let me know. You can manage that. You dropped your view to the sand, walking carefully so you didn't step on any. You were good at finding shells. You had a lot of them at home, and always found new ones whenever you visited the beach. The comforting sound of the waves filled the silence with pleasant white noise as you played a little game with yourself, as you walked along, getting close to the water as possible without getting wet. The result in you having to run out the sand quickly when the wave rushed in more than a few times, and Cove threw a few glances at your way. He didn't say a word. What do you usually do on the beach? Lots of things. I like bodyboarding and volleyball and surfing and everything and stuff. The idea of standing on a big board whilst waves propelled you towards the shore was mystifying. I'm not allowed to surf. It looks hard. No one gets the hang of it. I could show you sometime. But I'm also not supposed to surf right now, because I have this. He lifted one arm, showing the glaring pink cast wrapped around his wrist. Yeah. That's sad for him. Cove still smiled though. He thought his nonchalant attitude towards the injury was pretty brave. I also like collecting stuff on the shore. Shells, sand dollars. I found a shark tooth once. You did? Cove stretched out his finger and his full finger and thumb. It was this long. Now it was somehow both scary and delightful. No way. I mean it. I still have it in my bed. I have to remember to ask him to show it to you sometime. What about you? What do you do out here? I like swimming. I generally do. Now at the same time I hate it because the water's always too cold. Cove's lips curled up into a small smile. Me too. It occurred to you that you hadn't been swimming in a while. There was just so much to do before school started up again, so little time. Once you reached the shopping area, the noise grew exponentially. No longer just waves and footsteps, but the chatter of people enjoying the lovely summer day and the call of birds, trying to find bits of food left behind, and a lot of salespeople trying to get attention. You sniffed the air. As you walked beside Cove, you could still smell the ocean, but there were other scents now too. Pizza, pretzels, hot donuts. It was alright. There was a lot going on, but it beat staying at home and doing nothing all day. You were sure that you and Cove could find someone to fill the day if you looked around a bit. Cove was glancing from one side of the street to the other with a look in his aquamarine eyes that you couldn't quite work out. What's that? Cove pointed to a large crowd of people gathered near a few tables, with large colourful umbrellas blooming in the middle. You couldn't see past the adults who were blocking the way, but you knew it must be something worth seeing. Without another word, the two of you hurried over to see what the commotion was about. Feast your eyes on the amazing Alexander. A magician. In the center of the crowd was a man with a tall hat and a funny green coat that had 3 long tails. There was a little table next to him with a cloth hanging over it that read, "The Amazing Alexander" in glittery golden script. I tell people it is his name if it's already on a sign? Cove hummed with understanding, then turned to walk away just as the amazing Alexander began shuffling the deck of cards. Maybe we could stay and watch. Cove glanced back at the man, then briefly lifted his arms up off his side before returning them to place. You grinned, waving him to follow you, as you raced back to the stand in the crowd. With that said, it began. The magic man pulled one card out of the deck, showing it to the curious onlookers. It was the Four of Diamonds. Watch closely. You did, squeezing through a few of the adult onlookers to get a better view. Suddenly, the man snapped his fingers and the card just disappeared. Whoa! The amazing Alexander, who earned his title, turned his head and looked directly at you. He reached out with a kind smile. What's this behind your ear? Nothing? It was true. You didn't keep anything there. He smelled like popcorn and candy when he stepped closer, and you wrinkled your nose in confusion as you watched him. He felt a tug, and then he pulled the Four of Diamonds out from behind your ear. What? You knew it couldn't really have come from your ear, but you still didn't get how he had done it. There was a light applause from the crowd, and the man gave a deep bow. This is for you. The magician plucked a pair of balloons from a clamp and tied them down to his table. Both were in the shape of a dolphin instead of being a normal circle. And one for your friend. Thank you for being my assistant. Wow. Now you were really grateful he chose you. After that you went to someone else in the crowd. Pick a card, any card. My uncle does that every time he visits. Not the balloons, the stuff with the cards. Cove spoke plainly while reaching over to take the dolphin that had been designated for him. You wondered if Cove's whole family was magic. If so, he was lucky. The crowd started to clear some, and you noticed to the side there were a whole rack of brightly coloured kaleidoscopes on display. You walked past the toys. You briefly looked over the rack of toys, thinking they could be interesting to look at, but you didn't really feel in the mood at the moment. Cove picked up one of the kaleidoscopes and looked through, twisting the tube at the end. After a second, he set it back on the rack, moving to the other side of the stall. He went under awning, careful of his own floating dolphin, and you joined him. Are you having fun? He nodded and you smiled back at him, happy to hear it. When Cove moved towards some stores nearby, you followed him. Oh, that's so cute, but they don't seem to have many penguins. Just sad. While Cove looked at the sun pails, you were drawn to the table with colourful keychains laid out on it. They were sewn in the shapes of sea creatures, and there were a flag that read "Handmade" standing proudly in front of it. There were a lot of different types. You saw a dolphin, a shark, a crab, a turtle. We'll go with the dolphin. I prefer penguins though. That's my whole shtick at this point. I currently have 3, and I want to get like a life-size penguin because my science teacher expected me to pull one out of my school bag when I was still in sixth form, and I didn't have one, and I didn't have the money to afford it. I really want one because of that reason. I like penguins. They are really cute and fluffy toys. But like they also have really sharp teeth in their beak teeth. They're still so cute. And horrifying. But cute. Just why I like dolphins. Not dolphins, penguins. I was reading the word dolphin when I said I really like dolphins. Your hand stopped on the dolphin, so similar to a balloon animal. It was made out of bright material that caught the sunlight when you picked it up. You remember once seeing a pod of dolphins swimming out in the distance at the beach and jumping out of the water splashing as they dived back in again. That was a great day. You were instantly enamored. Checking the price though, your heart fell. $6. You didn't know much about money, but you thought that was a lot to spend on one thing. You really had more than a $5 bill to your name. Is that what you want? Huh? Oh, it's $6. I didn't bring any money. It's fine. You don't have to. Cove didn't mind that. He took the keychain from your hands. And that was that. He was holding a small yellow bucket for himself too. I was gonna get you something. Oh, I was always gonna get you something. I already got the money for it. You smiled, pleased to have things work out. It was nice of your dad to let Cove buy something for you too. You had to remember to thank him next time you saw him. After Cove paid, the two of you stepped out the store, side by side. Your balloon dolphins knocking together and spiraling around in the air. You watched Cove hold up his new pal to his face, examining it thoroughly. Hey Cove. Yeah? I really like this keychain. Thank you. It's nice. Cove looks down the street where the food carts were lined up. Rested his non-cast arm over his stomach. And just as he did, yours let out a light growl. You hadn't eaten since breakfast, and after all this wandering around, you were definitely ready for some lunch. Let's get some food. Yeah. You two wandered around a short while, looking at all the delicacies that were available. Everything looks delicious, and as the different smells, both sweet and salty, wafted over to you, your stomach growled even louder. After passing hot dogs, snow cones, ice creams, and pizza, both agreed on pretzels. I prefer pizza. Cove got something sweet and cinnamony, and you got one with chocolate. Chocolate covered pretzel. I don't think I've seen one. I should learn to make pretzels. I should ask my dad if he would like to learn pretzel making with me. We could do it as a video for my channel. Cooking with Wolf. And Dad. On my channel. Actually, guys, if you would like to see me and my dad cooking pretzels together, comment down below and I will beg my dad for us to make that video possible. Because we have a camera for it, we have a tripod somewhere. We could easily record it. I've been wanting to do cooking videos for my channel anyway. But I was gonna wait until we moved house so I can get a KitchenAid or kitchen mix, whatever you call it. It's like a standard metal bowl, so you literally don't have to do the hand whisking. I mean, I don't mind doing it by hand, but sometimes it's just better to have something else doing something so you can focus on something else. Like doing the washing up. But you also have to be careful to not over-mix it, so I probably sound slow, because I spend like at least an hour or two washing it up. Which is kind of funny. You licked your lips hungrily as the vendor handed you a pretzel over, ready to take a big bite. It had tiny marshmallows on it. It was dripping with chocolate. Just how you liked it. Your moms didn't like you to eat too much sugar, but this was a special occasion. You found an empty table close enough to the beach the grit of the sand made a terrible noise. When you dragged the chairs to sit down, oh, I hate that sound. These balloons are going to make it hard to eat. Cove placed the bucket on the table as he stared up his still balled up hand that was wrapped around the string. You opened your mouth to agree before an idea hit you. I know. After carefully placing your pretzel somewhere where it won't get sandy, you tucked the balloon dolphin out of Cove's hand and tied it in a delicate bow around his wrist. Oh! Cove bounced his arm up and down in place to testing the stability of your knot. After watching his balloon jostle around a bit, but remain attached, he smiled satisfied. You do it for me. He appeared the ritual. Cove struggled somewhat with the cast restricting his other fingers on one hand, and the string had already tangled around the other.
Okay.
Got it. Two of you spent a moment admiring your handiwork. Both hands now free to allow munching on your pretzels. You bit the doughy treat, savoring the taste on your tongue with a smile as you looked out of the ocean. After you finished your pretzel, you were done before Cove. It was boring not having anything to do. You pulled on the string of your balloon to bring it down to your level, and you held the dolphin in your hands, manipulating it to look like it was jumping through the air. If you turned your face towards the beach, it almost looked like it was swimming in the waves like a real dolphin. A laugh came from your side. When you glanced back at Cove, he left the remaining part of his pretzel in the wrapper, and he was gripping his dolphin too. Mine's Cherry, she's actually an alien. When no one's looking, she transforms back into a true alien self. She has purple skin and 10 eyes. You sighed, wishing you could meet her real life alien. What's yours? Cove considered this question, placing the balloon against the table, resting his free arm across it in contemplation. It's... The loud pulp, the balloon exploded into ribbons. Oh no. For a second, all Cove did was gape in shock like you. Then his cheeks puffed up, squinting his eyes, and you saw tears start to glisten. Callie, you offered to give Cove your balloon. You looked up at Cove, then into your balloon, bobbing it gently in the air above you. You can have mine! It was better than laying and crying more. Cove sniffled, glancing up at the balloon, then back at you. No, it's yours. I don't want to take it from you. It's okay, really. Cove shook his head, even though it wasn't your fault. You felt bad. Still, the offer seemed to lift Cove's spirits, and that was good. The passing of Cove's balloon was the last major event in your adventure. R.I.P. unnamed balloon dolphin. The two of you headed back late that afternoon. You separated on the beach, and while Cove went straight home with his brand new sunpail in hand, you decided to sit for a while. You watched the waves and sunset fiddling with your new keychain. Another summer day was drawing to a close. It had been a good one, except for one sad final note. And that is the end of shopping! Woo! Next, I will end up recording the DLCs, but when my voice is fully recovered and I've done my stream. So, until then, I bid all of thou adieu. I would love to see you when I next see you. Until then, stay happy, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!